Hi everyone, my name's Amanda, and I wanted to take a little bit of time today to talk about INFPs and traditional productivity advice. So many of us hit some kind of productivity issue at some point in our life or our work. Maybe we have a project that we're working on for ourselves. Maybe it's a hobby or a side business. Maybe you have a full-time business, or maybe you're just, trying to be more effective in your work and your life. But anyway, you have some sort of productivity issue. And so you do what everybody does, which is you take to the internet and you go out there and you type in your productivity issue as best you understand it, and you see what comes back to you. And typically, what's going to come back to you is something that falls into the realm of traditional productivity advice. And traditional productivity advice will tend to give you suggestions that fall into a couple of categories. The first category is you want to create more structure for yourself. So you really want to tighten up on the structure. You want to eliminate free spaces, you want to eliminate free time, you want to make sure you're automating things, you really want to tighten up the structure around you so that you don't have as much room to procrastinate or to not get stuff done or whatever it is. And then the other category is you make your existing structure or the structure that you're adding more rigid. So you really tighten it up again. And again, this is to make you move forward, push yourself forward. And the problem for INFPs when we go searching for this type of advice, and this is what we get back, is that it essentially backfires for us. So INFPs really need a lot of flow, movement, and flexibility in our work and our lives. Now, we definitely do need some structure. I'm not saying it's just complete flow all the time, but for me, and I've been thinking about and practicing with and learning about my own productivity issues for about 16 or 17 years now, essentially what I need are mild to moderate amounts of structure that give me something solid to move around, I think is the best way to put it. And that's basically what INFPs need. We still need to have that sense of movement and flow because that really gets our energy going. It's how we're made up, it's how we're designed, but we also need those structure points as well. Now, when INFPs go seeking out, this advice and they try to implement it, right? Because there's something we want to get done. There's something we want to be more effective. A couple of things will happen typically when you try to apply traditional productivity advice to create more structure or to create more rigid structure. Number one, you just shut down. So instead of moving forward faster and getting more done, it just brings you to a stop. Like you halt, the car stalls out. And that's really because when things are too structured for INFPs, it constricts the flow of our energy and it just brings our energy way down. We start feeling sluggish, we start feeling unmotivated. It just doesn't feel as fun, doesn't feel as interesting, and we just feel so constrained. And that brings me to the second thing that tends to happen when INFPs try to implement the advice that they typically find, which is you rebel against it. Like it feels so constraining to you that you essentially want to just bust right out of it. So again, it's having the opposite effect of what you're looking for. And I would imagine that you're looking for the same thing that I am, which is something, productivity methods that will move you forward and get stuff done in an appropriate timely fashion, but that still allows you to have a lot of flexibility, a lot of movement, a lot of flow, so that you can discover things along the way, so that you can go off on little tangents and little explorations, so that you can really follow the flow of your energy. Okay, so again, so those are the two things that tend to happen when INFPs try to implement that advice. And I should point out here, this is very well-meaning. Some person who's positioning themselves as an expert or an authority is saying, hey, here's how you do it, and you try it, and it just doesn't work for you at all. And for some people, it might work great. I'm not saying it doesn't work at all, but for INFPs, like I've said, it just tends to have the opposite effect. And then after you have tried to implement this, it tends to make you feel a certain way. So not only, it also leaves you feeling like you just can't do anything right. And in a way, this is really the more damaging part. The fact that your project isn't moving along as fast as you want, or maybe you're feeling a little, maybe you feel like you're doing too much procrastination, or it's just not moving along in a timely fashion. Now you just feel like, man, I went and I tried to I tried to do what was right, seek out this advice, try to implement more structure so I could be more productive, and I couldn't do it. I failed at it. And so now, it leaves you feeling, like I said, like you just can't do anything right. So it becomes one problem on top of another, and it can really eat away at your self-esteem and your sense of your own competence. And not to mention that you still have this thing that you would like to get done. I'm a writer myself, so I write fiction and nonfiction, but I'm often writing novels, short stories, maybe a nonfiction book. I do other writing projects. I do a whole bunch of stuff, and those things need to get moved forward. And I'm imagining that you're the same way. So again, the project isn't moving forward, and now you feel kind of hopeless and worthless. And that's definitely not what productivity advice is designed to do. It's designed to help you move forward. So in the next video that I do, I want to talk a little bit about some of the cornerstones of INFP productivity. So qualities that we have that really impact our ability to be productive. And that's it for this video. I will see you in the next.